Direct reflections. 5. The permanent atoms are not heart-shaped, as portrayed in certain books. A certain number of atoms are of that type, but they are not the permanent atoms, which are more definitely spheroidal and are slightly flattened at the top, where the correspondence to the polar depression may be found, and equally flattened at the undersurface. 6. The arrangement of the spirally within the permanent atoms varies on each plane, and the ones most frequently described are those of the physical plane. The arrangement of these tiny force vortices, and their internal economy on each plane is one of the secrets of initiation, and may not be revealed. One hint only may be given to guide the student. The astral permanent atom has its internal streams of force arranged so that the spirals do approach quite closely the conformation of the heart, though the pointed end is eliminated. The Buddhic permanent atom has its spirally arranged so as to form approximately a figure 8 with the central stream bisecting the double spiral. 7. The closer the approach to reality, the simpler will be found the arrangement of the spirilla. These streams of force show a septenary arrangement in the lower 3 permanent atoms of man, while the higher 3 contain but 3 spirally the major 3. 8. It should be noted that there are but 6 permanent atoms connected with human evolution, while a heavenly man has but 5, and even then only 1 in the solar system. The mystery of a planet, and its central life has not yet been revealed. It is connected with another manifestation of which as yet not is known. 9. It should be remembered that we are dealing with the physical incarnation of these great entities, and that their permanent atoms, with the exception of the physical, are extrasystemic. 10. The causal body of the heavenly men is upon the 3rd subplane of the cosmic mental plane, while that of the solar logos and those of the 3 persons of the logoid trinity are upon the 1st subplane. 11. The permanent atoms of men are upon the atomic subplane of each plane, with the one exception of the mental unit. Those of the animal groups are upon the 2nd subplane. Those of the vegetable groups are upon the 3rd subplane. Those of the mineral groups are upon the 4th subplane. There is, therefore, a close analogy between these focal points of force of the group human, or otherwise, and a chain, a globe, and a round, and in their due application comes enlightenment. The sum total of the permanent atoms of any particular kingdom form the streams of force, or spirally in the greater atoms of solar entities or of lunar entities, while the sum total of the permanent atoms of man in the spiritual kingdom, the 3 triadal atoms, Atma Buddhi Manas, form the spiral streams of force within certain centers. 12. As the permanent atoms become radioactive in due course of evolution, the result within the center is a marked increase of vibration. 13. The permanent atoms concern solar entities, when they are found on or above the higher mental. They concern lunar entities on the lower mental, the astral and the physical planes. 14. It should be noted that in this solar system the following entities manifest through I1 permanent atom. The physical. 1. A solar logos. 2. The 3 major rays, or lords of aspect. 3. The 7 heavenly men. 4. The 49 regions of the planetary chains. II 2 permanent atoms. The physical and the astral. 1. The 7 lords of the globes in every chain. 2. The 49 root manas. 3. The 77 embodiment of form, a group of solar lords who are concerned with form building, working primarily on the first ray. 4. Certain of the avatars, who are selected by the logos to carry a certain type of force at stated intervals and thus further the evolution of the psyche. II 3 permanent atoms. Physical, astral, and mental. 1. The lords of the 3rd kingdom, the animal. They are 7 entities whose bodies are made up of animal souls, just as the heavenly men embody for man the Buddhic principle, so these lords embody for the animal kingdom the monastic principle, which is the goal of the evolutionary process for them. 2. Certain great entities who embody a whole range of existences upon 5 of the planets, of which the Earth is not one, but who in due course of time will come to be recognized as having a powerful effect upon man on the Earth, via the 3 Buddhas of activity. A hint as to this esoteric influence comes to man in the close connection existing between the Earth and Mercury. As yet it is not possible to enlarge further. 3. The entities who are the sum total of those group souls, who contain definite permanent triads. 9 triads constitute the body of one of these entities. 1 volt through 4 permanent atoms. Physical, astral, mental and Buddhic. 1. 8 groups of solar entities who form the subjective life of the 7 centers in the body of Brahma, viewing him as a separate cosmic entity, dissociated from his 2 brothers. They are the 7 sons of Phoet, with the 8th son included, and they are the final differentiation of the 49 fires, prior to their union with the fire of Eros. Thus is it expressed by HPB 17574-2. That entity who works through the form of a planetary occult hierarchy, using it as his body of manifestation, and regarding it as the center through which his force can flow. It should be remembered that all such groups on every planet form a vehicle for the life of a great individual, who gives to that hierarchy its distinctive coloring and its unique keynote. 3. A number of solar deities who are the radiators of solar magnetism, and the life of form. 4. A peculiar group of beings connected with a certain constellation and the lesser dragon, who have their habitat on Neptune and work with the 6th principle in the solar system. They take physical form, animated by purified desire, controlled by mind, and are the dispensers of love wisdom by means of certain of the halls of wisdom on the various planets. The words halls of wisdom, in their esoteric significance, describe a stage of consciousness, not a location. V through 5 permanent atoms. Physical, astral, mental, Buddhic and atmic. 1. The lords of certain subplanes who work under the Raja Lord of the plane, and who are themselves vibration and activity. 2. The lesser heavenly men on the Buddhic level, who reflect their higher prototypes on the 2nd plane of the system. 3. The entities who are the sum total of group consciousness on egoic levels, remembering that these groups are differentiated, and are formed of aggregates of 7, until there are formed 49 groups of 7 egoic vehicles forming one group, which is the body of this lesser solar deity. There is a multiplicity of these groups of 49. This has been somewhat stated before when it has been announced that a master with his particular band of disciples and initiates form a group or force center. These groups have their permanent atoms, as do all live-seeking objective expression. 4. The entities, who are the sum total of the vegetable kingdom in its diversity of manifestation in different globes, chains and schemes. VI through 6 permanent atoms. Physical, astral, 2 mental, Buddhic and atmic. Man. All that is here stated is an enlargement of the data given about the Army of the Voice, 17,675, and an endeavor to show that many diverse lives, all embodying lesser lives, or embodied in greater ones themselves, are to be found within the various schemes. We have dealt only with those likewise which are superhuman or human, with those who have been or are men. We have not dealt with the subhuman, or with the lunar lords or lesser Pitras, for their day is not yet, and they progress as the tide of evolution progresses, unconsciously and not self-consciously. We have dealt with these entities, and their permanent atoms in connection with their manifestation in the solar system, and have not carried it beyond the solar ring as not. All the permanent atoms concern physical matter and manifestation. The highest permanent atom of man, the atomic, is, after all, an atom of the third cosmic ether, and this should be pondered upon and studied. We have considered these various personalities, and the word personality is chosen deliberately, for what are they but personalities, or beings, in physical incarnation? From the standpoint of their lowest force point first. We have discussed the permanent atom as a point of contact with the force of a plane, of a planet, of a chain, of a scheme, or of a system. This should ever be borne in mind. It is to be recognized that much that is written above may seem incomprehensible, but when scientists come to understand and regulate force, that which is written here will become plainer. It will be seen that we have dealt with the positive force in all negative forms above, and including the human kingdom.